Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. I'm going to make a couple loaves of homemade bread. And in this recipe, I don't use any oil, eggs, or milk. It's a very, very easy recipe, and it is delicious. It's really a good recipe for bread. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get out everything you're going to need. You're going to need 3/4 cups of warm water, warmed up, and 4½ teaspoons of the instant yeast. Okay, you dump that right into your water. And you're going to give it a good little stir to whisk it in, and then you're going to let it set for 5 minutes so it can bloom. And then you'll know it's ready because it'll start getting all frothy and foamy like at the top. Okay, so let that set for like 5 minutes. And I like to get out a big bowl, and I like to put 10 cups of flour in it. You may not need that much flour, okay? And then I like to spoon the flour into the measuring cup and then level it off, and then I sift it, okay? And you're gonna need 2 2/3 cups more of water warmed up. You're gonna need 1/4 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of kosher salt, and 3 tablespoons of softened butter. That's it, okay? All right, we'll let that proof for 5 minutes. Okay, everybody, it's been 5 minutes and it's proofed. Can you see that? Okay, now I'm just gonna dump it right here in my stand mixer bowl. And this is probably one of the most easiest bread recipes ever. It's gonna make 2 loaves of bread, and you wanna get out two 9 by 5 by 3 loaf pans, and then you wanna spray them really good, okay? Get that all set up. And you wanna also get a good sized bowl, and you wanna oil it really well, because when we set our bread dough in it, then we're gonna oil the dough itself, and then we're going to cover it in plastic wrap and then a towel and let it rise for a good hour to 2. And I just use some Crisco, wipe the bowl with that. Okay? All right, so the yeast is in. Now we're going to add in 2 2/3 cup more of warm water, not hot, just warm. Tablespoon of kosher salt and 1/4 cup of sugar. And 3 tablespoons of softened butter. Okay. Now let's get that mixed up, and then we'll start adding our flour. Melt your butter. Just make sure it's not really hot when you put it in, okay? Okay, now let's start adding our flour. I'm going to start off with 3 cups of flour, and then I'm going to change out my hooks from the mixing hook to a dough hook, okay? All right, I'll let that go. Like I said, I probably won't be using all the flour. You'll be able to tell once it all starts coming together. And then afterwards, I'm going to melt after it's doubled in size for a couple hours. Depending on how warm the kitchen is and everything, it may not even take 2 hours, okay? And that's when we're going to punch the dough down we're going to put it on a 400-degree oven when it's time. And we're going to bake it for about a half an hour, anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, I'm changing out the hooks. Putting the dough hook on. I did do this bread recipe, almost a half a year or so ago. But it was done like in 6 different sections, so you wouldn't have to wait around. But I got that all figured out, so I'm making just another one and a lot quicker and a lot faster. Okay, got about 3 more cups in there. That's 6 cups so far. I'm gonna let that go. Okay, I ended up putting in a total of 8.5 cups of flour. All right, and then you're gonna let it just go on low speed for about 7 minutes so you can knead it, okay? And you know it's ready because the dough will start forming together like in a ball, releasing from the sides, all coming together. And that's what it looks like. Okay, now remember, this is going to make 2 loaves. So make sure you get your 2 9x5s sprayed and ready to go. Get everything all set up. See, it releases nice from the pan. All right, now all you do is you're going to form it into a little ball. Just like that. And you know it's going to be good bread because you can just feel how nice the dough is. See how it just brings right back? Okay, so you put it in your greased bowl, twirl it around like that, flip it over because you want to make sure the whole dough is nicely oiled. And I put in a little extra, when I greased my bowl with the Crisco shortening, I put on a little extra grease so I could do the sides and the top of the dough. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to cover it with plastic wrap and then a towel. And then when it doubles in size, we're going to go to the next step. All right, it's covered in the plastic. Making bread is so easy, it really is. Okay. Just cover it real good. Put a towel over it until it doubles, anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, okay? Okay, it's been about an hour and a half. And it's a little bit more than doubled. That's okay. Okay, what we're going to do is punch it down. Then we want to roll it out into about a 9x12. You want to lightly flour your counter. And while I think of it too, after your bread's baked and cooled, and save on your plastic wrap foil or whatever, if you save some of your bread bags, like your Italian sized bread bags, they work good to hold your bread in, you know, in your bread tie it up nice with. Okay, that looks good. Now what we're going to do, we're going to flip it right out, just like that. And then we're going to cut it in half because it makes 2 loaves. Okay, just put 1/2 over here for a minute. Okay, and then you're going to take this one. You could use a rolling pin, but I like to just use my hands. And it's always come out really well that way, okay? This is definitely really, really nice dough. I mean, back in the day, I used to use it with the milk and everything, but you know what? It's a lot cheaper making it this way, and I'm telling you, it's really good. Whether you want it for homemade bread, I use it for fried bread dough, and you just keep working it. Until this is a good dough. Look at how that just nicely just stretches. All right, that looks good. Now what you want to do is take the shorter side, okay, and you want to roll it up nice and tight. Probably should have put it the other way, then I could have just rolled it right in front of me. Stuff off to the side. That's all right. Just like that, okay? Now what you want to do is take your ends. Now I like to do this with my hands. Just press down, fold it under, just like that, same side down. And then you can take your pan and you can measure to see if it's going to fit in the pan. And that looks like perfect. Okay? Now what you want to do is roll it over, and you want to just pinch the seams. And that when it's baking, it'll all fold in real nice. Just give it good little pinches. Just like that. Okay. Roll it back over. A little shape. Make sure you sprayed your pan really well. Okay. And you just put it right in your pan. Just like that. Okay, that's one loaf. And now for the other one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover it, and we're going to cover it with plastic wrap and then the towel, and we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. Okay? It doesn't take long once you get it shaped and put in your bread pan. And then when it's almost done, your 30 minutes, you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, because then we're going to melt a little bit of butter, we're going to brush it on the top, and then we're going to bake it for a good 30-35 minutes. And you'll know when the bread's done. Besides looking at it, you can also tap on it. Believe it or not, like a hollow sound. Okay, just about there. I love working with the dough by hand, because this way you can feel it, and the more you work with dough, the more you get used to it, and you'll be able to tell if it's a good, nice dough. All right, that looks good. We just turn it this way. That way I can roll it up a little easier. Okay, and just roll it. Just like that, okay? Take your ends, hold them under. Look at your pan, see where you're at, and that looks good. Okay, now we're gonna roll it over and pinch the seams. Okay, Ricky, give me a call, stay in contact. Be careful.
Nope. Walking under a tree, it's gonna be like, really be careful.
All right, you'll come home to some nice homemade bread.
What are you building? She's busy on that.
Okay, that looks good. I like to shape it nicely before I set it into the pan. Just like that. And in she goes. All right, now let's cover it up with our plastic wrap and let it sit. Cover it with a towel. This one. I usually do quite a few loaves at one time. Okay, that's all there is to it. All right, until the next step. Okay, it's been 30 minutes and you can see how this is risen. All right, now make sure your oven's preheated to 400 degrees, okay? Now we're going to brush on some melted butter. To give it a nice good golden color. All right, and now we're going to bake it anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. When it starts getting a nice light golden color, then you can also just give it a little tap on it. If it makes kind of like a hollow sound, it's another sign that it's done, okay? Okay, 30 minutes later and the bread's done. I just took it out of the oven. Hear that? That's the hollow sound that I was talking about. Now we could take some melted butter and brush over it. Not only with the flavor, but it makes a really nice crust. I like to also put it right on as soon as it comes right out of the oven. Okay, there's one. Love the smell of homemade bread. And this really, I'm telling you, this is a really, really good recipe. It's one of the cheapest recipes even. Like I said, no eggs, no oil, no milk. And that's that. Okay. Now you should let it set for a good few minutes. It is going to be hot. Okay. And that's what it looks like. And see how the bottom with the seams, how nice it came out? And the same, oh, it's hot. See how nice it came out? Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Let's see. I shall cut a slice. Dee Dee, do you want a slice? Look at how nice that is. Okay. Look at how moist everything that is, tender. Okay. Told you it was super easy. All right, you all take care and God bless. Bye-bye.